Right, this echoing is still going on and I hate it. If this echoing is still going on. It is. See if this echoing is still going on. Mate, I swear to God, this echoing is so annoying. This echoing is so annoying.
I'm pretty sure there's no.
Right, I'll need to deal with it. So basically, what I'm saying is, oh, this echoing is actually starting to really annoy me. I have no idea what it is. Sounds like a mic underwater. As I was saying, Marvel Spider-Man 2's got way more news that I cannot stand. This mic, it is actually really annoying. I don't know what it is. I want to stream like 9 pages of news.
I never.
I need to go off soon, remember. I've got like 9 pages of new news. We've got new news about cutscenes, characters, DLC, and some other stuff, so why don't we just get into it? Well, we still can anyway. So the game begins with like a flyby through the city, showcasing winter environment leading to an apartment. Peter's in his and MJ's apartment.
And
They're video calling. This scene relates on MJ's whereabouts, peace talks in Samkyria or conflict happening as they speak. So she should be heading home in a few weeks after post-war interviews and headlines. MJ asks Peter what's been going on in his life in New York, and Peter confesses that he was rejoined the Daily Bugle as a photographer to help pay the bills. MJ says that shouldn't be so bad, especially if they work together, but Peter's webs all over a newspaper from the kitchen counter. The headline is that J. Jonah Jameson has returned to his previous position in the company due to financial hardships. Elaborated on the side that Never Sleeps DLC basically means that it was reference to the DLC. Speaker says that enjoyed the podcast take, but want to return to the roots. MJ reacts negatively to this, telling Peter that she wasn't even informed. Peter apologises for the breaking and the bad news. Peter's spider sense goes off. That's where it gets shot for the meeting. Mechanics. So here we have basically graphics and mechanics for this game.
Put the money in the bag.
We already know that it's set in winter.
In the bag.
It's going to be snowing in winter. It takes it's quite a long period after the first game. So memories from this game will probably be gone by then. So at the start, maybe there's going to be a crime like the first game, where you had to defeat the guys before you entered Fisk Towers for a mission. But there's one enemy and I don't know where he is. Oh, there he is. As I was saying, so it says Spider-Man on top of a building. Snow is accumulating on his suit. As you move, some falls off. Peter walking through Peter walking through New York as himself. Snow is accumulating on his jacket. Footprints in the snow are present, both by player and well as citizens walking around. 3 different weather types are shown: light rain, light snow, and heavy snow. So heavy snow will be a disadvantage for maybe the Human Torch. I kind of spoiled something that I was going to say, might as well say it. But basically, they're going to add missions from the second game in Ultimate Spider-Man where you get to race Johnny Torch, aka.
No, it's Johnny. It's Johnny Storm.
I don't know why I say Johnny Torch. There's something wrong with my brain if I said that.
Who in the hell is Johnny Torch?
I was getting mixed up with his actual name, Human Torch. What as I was saying, that you can actually race him in the game, I think, as a side mission. Oh, for God's sake. Right. Well, I'll speak after this crime's gone.
When you've got no weapon and a gun, and you threaten someone to put the money in the bag.
Hey, citizens are threatened by me instead of the actual enemies. Wow, game, thank you so much.
Hey guys, did you see the robbery last night? Hey.
No.
Okay, now we're just showing off.
Hey. Come on!
That concludes our Spider-Man car tour of New York.
The next bit is...
Oh, somebody's left their car. Whoever left their
Speaker
car
says that there are 7 dynamic weather types in game. So that's basically like... That maybe might mean... Cloudy, stormy, heavy rain, light rain and all that. Cold. We don't know. From what I've gathered, especially based on what my contact has said, the weather systems will come and go freely. Time passes without transitions along with the weather. So what that basically means is you don't need to go to like weather stations to do that anymore. It's kind of like real life games like, from what I've heard, GTA 5, but I used to play it on my Xbox for some odd reason. Like that, like the time changes frequently, like normally. Like what's happening right now, it was brighter earlier, but now it's starting to fade into like
Los Santos, please, I am not pulling over.
Darker light instead, so you don't need to do a cutscene right now in this game. It'll stay at noon, and not actually will change. So the next bit says,
so I can get the cops off me and leave.
Along with the weather and will be represented within cutscenes. Story apparently takes place over a longer period of time than the first. Therefore, the more room for days to pass within gameplay. Speaker says that they try to avoid writing and this happens at night or this happens during the day as much as possible. Unexpected time of day shifts within the game. Speaker also says that people are going to be playing in one instance for a long time, and this was a good seg to the meat of the game, whatever the hell that means. That sounds weird. So there's some dynamic missions. Speaker really turned out the charm for the next one. I was pretty proud of what they had in store. Balloon missions, the ones from Spider-Man 2 were but they triggered me if you had to pop the balloon. The kids were so whiny. My balloon! That triggered me. I wanted to actually just get that kid to fly up in that balloon and land who knows where. Great hero I am. Spider-Man gets a balloon caught on a flagpole, a balloon flying away in the air, and the balloon was caught in a helicopter. Yes, a helicopter. The landing gear, specifically. These are definitely a callback to Spider-Man 2 movie tie-in game. Construction workers hanging onto ledges and falling off buildings. That's nice. People needing to be brought to the hospital, as well as rescuing people from burning buildings. People needing to be brought... Oh, I've heard of it. Speaker says that small missions like these help illustrate and the friendly neighborhood Spider aspect of Spider-Man. Players will receive positively to it based on feedback. Speaker says there's a few more, but wanted to move on to the side missions. And then we actually move on to the side missions log. A fight with Mysterio was shown, albeit very briefly. This is in the game, guys, on the Statue of Liberty. Not sure if this was another reference to Spider-Man 2, but the fight looked very different from that game. A few images of a theatre and clock tower were also shown, with Mysterio at the centre of each. This also confirms that Statue of Liberty will be a traversal location, and we'll probably see more than one appearance of Mysterio throughout the game. Some side missions are going to appear throughout the story in a greater number than the first games. That means there's going to be way more. Some side missions contain major villains, like maybe Swarm. Now, Swarm was a confirmed character. I don't know if this was in a comic or fan art, but it basically showed that Miles was playing this game where he was playing as a PS4 Spider-Man and he had to face Swarm. Don't know who Swarm is. He's basically a villain who his form is made of bees. That's why it's called Swarm. People can use that as a metaphor, as a swarm of bees. A side mission in Hell's... No wait, I missed a bit. And others help flesh out the world. A side mission that's in Hell's Kitchen with a certain lawyer was teased. Daredevil will most likely make an appearance. Yeah, guys, everyone knows that Hell's Kitchen is a well, not a reference, but everyone knows that that's from Daredevil. It only makes sense because Daredevil suit his mask kind of looks like hornets from hell, I guess you could say. Don't ask why I said that. I saw the TV show, I had DVDs of it, and it was pretty cool.
Muggers, we never take a day off.
Alright, I want to get my ability recharged. Here's one that I'm excited about. Another side mission with a certain fantastic and flary personality was also teased and will be used for new racing mechanics. If anyone predicted Human Torch races, and congratulations. Cutscenes, major one here. In an alleyway, a giant squirming blob of symbiote lays in the ground as Spider-Man approaches it. This is definitely not Venom, but it's definitely a symbiote. My contact described... This is not me saying my contact, this is in the script. My contact described it as a proto-Venom. Some specific dialogue taken from Peter, transcribed poorly by me. I'm sure Yuri knocked it out of the park though. Here's some... See, so... See some of these lines are from Peter and Harry. So basically, see, there is this scene in the game, right? There was this brief cutscene, this isn't the same bit. Basically showed Harry try to help Peter free from Venom. Now if you think about it, they are definitely going for a Web of Shadow like thing, but they are changing like the characters up a little bit, if you think about it. Crap, they're gonna spread out now and that triggers me off. Maybe not. You're the last enemy. That's disappointing. I thought enemies had power. I guess I was wrong.
I feel like the hold-up guys are phoning it in lately.
So there are some dialogues that I think Spider-Man would say. How can Norman do this to you? That's obviously Harry. Harry, it's me. It's Peter. I'm here, buddy, I'm here. Oh God, Harry, you killed those people? What the hell? Get off, get... That last one is crucial to the scene. As the symbiote leaves Harry and bonds with Peter, that teases that there's a symbiote suit in this game. My contact says that originally wanted Harry to be Venom, but I feel like the introduction of Eddie Brock, Venom would make it a lengthier story and would also satisfy comic fans. They also want to save Harry for something special later down the line. So does that mean that Harry might be Venom only for a short period of the game? But it's not about comic fans. They don't need to make it accurate to the game. Like the comics, I meant. I mean, they definitely twisted it up with this game with the Sinister Six having Martin Lee in it. Half of the members were disappeared. Craven and all that, where were they? Here's another bit. From what I've gathered within the context of the story, Harry's the first host of the Oscorp created symbiote. Wait a minute. That's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that the symbiote in this game's a cure. Because it does say here that Oscorp created it. Oh my God, I've just had a theory. Harry got Devil's Breath, right?
Yeah.
Because Morgan Michaels was with him. So you got Devil's Breath, and Oscorp created this cure. They took it from Ultimate Spider-Man game where it was a cure for... I'm not even going to say it. It was a cure for that, but basically... That explains something that maybe the experiment went wrong. And now that they've found a cure for... Now that maybe they found the anti-serum, Norman can't get his hands on it or something. because maybe he thinks that that's not going to help because that can only cure Devil's Breath, not the actual thing though. Only Spider-Man's DNA could maybe cure Harry, which does explain the fact that that's why they're trying to clone him. Maybe they'll try to get his DNA. Here's another bit. It's not an alien origin, and was used as a cure for Harry's disease. Harry's ultimately cursed by the time the symbiote leaves, so there's room for him in the future of the story. But at this point, he is hospitalised after Peter stops his rampage. Harry breaks free during Act 1 and goes on a maniac-filled killing spree, and the scene just describes wraps up the events leading into Act 2. This reminds me of Hello Neighbour, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 nearly. Does it remind you of any of that? They're definitely copying Hello Neighbour off something with the axe and all that. There was Act 1, Act 2 and Act 3. So Act 1 of this game was probably based off Mr. Negative. Act 2 was basically Devil's Breath, and Act 3 was the Sinister Six. If you were looking there, you would see that I just pushed a criminal into the road. Wait, what? He's still here? Oh, that explains something. Where's the other guy? Where's the last guy? Ah.
People are still trapped. Need to help fast. Hold on. Okay, people are safe. I should clear out so the professionals.
So yeah, here's mechanics that I'm excited. It's for the black suit. A few still images of the classic black suit are shown, and everyone in Zoom clapped for it. So if you don't know, guys, Zoom isn't part of the game. It's actually a website where you can contact your pals, and I guess the creators of that done it. Here's one thing that I don't hope they do. They did say something about, I kind of don't want to spoil it because it is pretty cool. I'll wait till I get to the actual part. But when I don't really want a classic black suit, I want them to create their own suit for the game. It's just pointless if they don't, because they've done it with Ultimate Spider-Man. They've made the symbiote the same. Same way the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game, even though that didn't have a symbiote story, they still made the classic suit. The Amazing Spider-Man had a black version of the suit. It's like a symbiote suit for that. And that actually was the same like design as the Amazing Spider-Man, and not actually the classic one. So that's kind of what we're looking for here in this context.
Look at it this way. If I'd actually let you break in.
So everyone in Zoom clapped for it. Suffice to say, they wanted the black suit just as much as the fans did, so they're doing something right here. Speaker says that they wanted to add an extra step towards tolerating every player's experience. Spider-Man is on a roof. The weather and sky is clear, so the light is reflecting off the suit more. His classic suit has been worn. Here's the fact that I have a theory on. When he mean this classic suit, do they mean that he got rid of the symbiote and he's in the normal suit? Or does he mean the one that I'm in right now? The one that he battled in Fisk, sadly damaged. Got damaged, basically, and basically, you know, that's the classic suit. Contract says that this was his favourite part of the show reel, and I'll admit it's definitely mine too. The black suit is switched with a simple button press. See, they're copying off Web of Shadows if you look at it. Web of Shadows is basically stolen off here. So like the simple press of a button, you can switch between the normal suit and the black suit. What one would I play more? The black suit, the normal suit, or Miles? HMMM. I don't know. The black suit switch with a simple button press and switch off again. Speaker had to say this, taking major inspiration from Web of Shadows. We knew that the symbiote system in the game needed to be as forward and as fun as possible. So for anyone who says predicted as a Web of Shadows style system, you guessed correctly, and I'm glad you did. That's all we have to show you. The speaker said the suit selection screen is opened once more, and all the suits are greyed out. However, the advanced suit and the web suit Raimi suit available. They've added the Raimi suit in the second game. Oh, let's go, man. That's cool. Here's one of my favourite bits. The advanced suit is selected, then the black suit switch on. Every suit has their own symbiote version. Do you know what that means? Here's an example that never happened though. The Homecoming suit could have a symbiote version. Spider-Punk could have had a symbiote version. Iron Spider could have had a symbiote version. The Amazing Spider-Man, even though that's not a thing. Spider-Man Far From Home. The web suit is then selected and my contact said it will look like Kim back to 2007 when Spider-Man 3 was released. It looked beautiful. Now we have the black suit combat. My contact has said that they tried to not copy Web of Shadows entirely, but they did take inspiration from the combat switching in that game. Arkham Knight style combat similar to the Spider-Man PS4 was shown. Precision combos and key presses and dodging are once again in the game, focusing while fighting without the symbiote suit. However, when using the symbiote suit, certain elements are removed for more fluid combat. Which fluid means is like a web fluid, so you can use the symbiote as a power, basically. Not more like punches and all that. It's like, it is like Web of Shadows. It's basically like its future. It's basically like its future self all over again. Although it doesn't take part in Winter, Venom's not the key. Eddie Brock's not the key of Venom yet. And Spider-Man, you know. Guess Web of Shadows is the closest thing they wanted today. Fluid combat. Combat is described as being more powerful with faster attacks and much less dodging. Players zip from enemy to enemy and can attack multiple enemies at once by using certain symbiote abilities. The symbiote suit has its own separate skill tree that is unlocked after obtaining it, which is basically like the fact Disney Infinity now. We didn't copy, they took inspiration of it. Disney Infinity was a whole, that game was pretty cool. Me and my pal played it when I first went to his house.
Who was it?
Oh, you know, the guy who wrecked my house in Hello Neighbour made me lose every item. I'm not going to say my name in stream. I can't say because my mic doesn't mute. Can't.
Is it?
Stream, you never heard anything. I'm talking about a game, totally nothing else. Back to the video. Skill tree that's unlocked after obtaining it. The skill trees are slightly larger than the previous game, but nothing to write home about. This shouldn't be a problem to players, however, as there are now two different skill trees to explore. Not much was shown in terms of symbiote combat footage, though as most likely they're still under development. Combat reworks and additions can take forever, especially with a new system being made. That's true. Here's some cutscenes. A few cutscenes and clips are shown, stitched together for the sake of time. So that means basically that they're not going to show them all separately, they're all going to show them like one big, like just say one big Zoom call. They're going to combine them all basically. They're going to try transitions maybe. Peter under the influence of the symbiote and Miles arguing. The black suit then forms around Peter and he jumps off a roof. Spider-Man 3 reference. He jumps off a building, does backflips, says this is something else, switches to the next act of the cutscene. Miles stopping a robbery. His classic suit is shown here. Speaker also said during that Miles also has equipable suits. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So you do definitely get to see Miles play Spider-Man from that news now. So my two favourite features are the symbiote suits have everything. Like, oh, I forgot to say that I think there's more than one symbiote suit. Like, I think they'll choose different versions as well, like this. Oh, well, they've got to add accurate ones in, like the Spider-Man 3, Ultimate Spider-Man, Steve Ditko Spider-Man, if that's a thing. Pause game, right. Next cutscene is Miles is also swinging through the low building traversal and running in rooftop. Miles' section ends with him fighting a group just before Peter tags in and the two fight together. So see, before this game was actually announced, I did have a theory that Peter would fight Miles in his black suit. Because the suit instantly takes him over. It doesn't take time. Peter doesn't need Miles, he only needs a suit now. He doesn't even know who Miles is, basically. He thinks that he has to be the only Spider-Man, or else people will... You know what I mean?
Hey, no texting and driving!
You're able to switch between them both for certain sections. Norman is in the lab where Harry escaped. He's tinkering with a few vials of unknown materials, presumably Peter Parker's DNA. Norman Osborn smashing a bunch of equipment as well as throwing a table out of a window. The show ends with a fade to black, accompanied by Norman's laughter. Do you know what that means? That Norman might become the Goblin. One thing last was shown, 3 images for a wave of DLC, presumably just like how there were 3 in the last time. Morbius, oh, Carnage, and Wraith, or some seem like the theme of the DLCs are killers and redemption. Depending on who Carnage is, my contact says that are learning towards Peter Parker Carnage, and you would play as Miles. So do you know what that means? This car does not know when to stop.
Guys, if you work this hard,
This car is still driving.
wouldn't need to be criminals.
No, it's not anymore. Wait. So do you know what that means? They might add Spider Carnage into the game, and the main focus of this DLC is Miles one. That would be cool. So Miles gets a whole DLC to fight Spider Carnage. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Aye. Man, I'm so hyped for this game. This should be the game of the year. Number 1, they're not actually stopping, surprisingly. It's my opinion, guys. Gosh. And they put so much effort into it, and it's only like, and it might be extended. They are originally planning on revealing it over the summer, but not due to how the situation we are all facing. They're pushing it to late summer. August more likely, or potentially later, depending on how the situation develops. Release will remains holiday 2021. So that was all the features that we get to see. Do you know what I feel like? See the early UI designs?
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to use them for the second game. Something tells me that. I don't know what tells me that. Because it just reminds me, a skill tree is in one of the images of the old ones. Loads of new gadgets, like you could get 30 in the game. So I would equip 15 of them and leave 15 out until you unlock them. So the Raimi suit is 1.
30 gadgets.
Well, that was in the early UI design, and it looks so cool. So I kind of want them to add like the early UI designs to be the things.
Oh yeah, I mean that is.
But change it up a little bit. So in the early UI design, it showed Miles would have a suit that Peter could wear. Changed it up a little bit. So when you go into the suit bit, choose character, Peter or Miles. They would each probably have some sort of cool suits you could choose. Miles wouldn't have a symbiote option.
Like a character to be what story you play, basically.
Well, I have an option that they shouldn't change whatever you do. Like, say Miles won the fight, but Peter still got up and they both faced each other. Or Peter won the fight, Miles would still get up and they would leave each other out for a little bit until Peter was knocked out hard. Then later on there would be a fight scene and all that, maybe. I kind of predicted the game for myself in my head once. I said, I hope Venom's in this game. Peter and
everyone.
Aye, but yeah. So you could equip 5 gadgets in the previous one. Change that to 15 if you're going to add 30. Another feature that I kind of liked is they actually showed like the features of it, like the abilities and close-up images of it, basically. And also what I like is see the skill tree basically that was in the game. Like the early UI designs. Yeah. It was shaped like a web, so why don't they do that? And then for the black suit or whatever you choose, since there's going to be loads of crimes and all that, do you know what I hope? See the more you keep, like say you were doing screwball missions again, keep progressing them to make them harder and more challenging and funner. Do not stop them. Like on this where they're only like not much, but there was quite they were good, but make them like infinity. So when you reach the last level of one little challenge section, you can do the rest. Make daily challenges for the players, maybe. So there hasn't been much information about Miles apart from that. It seems really exciting though, the game. I really want the PS5 soon though. I hope you guys get it as well if you're a fan of PS5, or you could get the Xbox Scarlet, but if you want, the whole point of this video was Spider-Man PS5, not Xbox Scarlet. Or what should we say, PUBG Scarlet or something. Roblox Scarlet maybe. No.
What?
No, Roblox the sequel, Xbox Scarlet Edition. The joke is that Xbox only has Roblox for Xbox only, so they would probably make a sequel called Mindblocks.
I'm gonna go.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Oh,
he wanted to go.
Okay.
So yeah guys, I hope you guys are satisfied with the news that we've got about the game. I am, I mean. They were all pretty cool. There won't be that, well, the Remy suit has been leaked to come back. This would sound quite brutal. But do you know what I would do for one of the Spider-Man 3 suit's abilities for the black suit? See if you make him do that cringy dance and make the bad guys actually surrender into the cops and actually make them go through torture because you never want to see that again. That would be funny as. So guys, we're basically probably almost done about the game news. We've got villains, DLC, suits, activities we can do. We've got everything nearly. We've got web slinging, we've got storyline, we've got Act 1 and 2 nearly. Well, we've got the whole entire Act 1 basically sorted out. Peter and MJ are in a relationship, but she's not with Peter. If you watch the DLC, she moved to somewhere, which I've said in the video. Shows that Miles is going to get his powers soon. Mysterio might be in Act 2, or the Goblin. I thought you went off.
I decided not to go off.
Oh.
I'm gonna be super quiet.
Okay. That was awkward. And we've also got the map changes. They're adding like bloody Queens. No. What are they adding? What are they adding again? What locations were they adding?
10:30, we've got an armed robbery.
They were adding
Please proceed to Chelsea ASAP.
Queens and Brooklyn. They've added 2 whole new bits of it. That's nearly the size of the Spider-Man 3 map. Statue of Liberty is going to be our location. This was only released like a day ago. Mr. Park was the first YouTuber to see it, and I was probably the first video to explain all the features and what they might mean. He showed the images and he came up with his theories probably. I came up with mine. So me and him have different theories, I guess you could say. Don't watch this video if you don't want to be spoiled for the game. Which half of my fans probably don't care about much. This is one of the only games I'm kind of excited about. There's no point getting the Avengers game if you're going to get a PS5. I feel like there's no point. Should they just push it to the PS5, Liam, do you think?
Aye.
If they want, I mean, Spider-Man PS5, like right now. I'm surprised because the
Yeah.
Avengers game has started development. So is Marvel Spider-Man, but we've got trailers for the Avengers. But for Marvel Spider-Man 2, we've got features in nearly everything. We've barely been told what we can do in the Avengers game apart from trailers and suits and all that. Marvel Spider-Man 2 has already leaked a bunch of suits. If you think about it. Think of just some that might be in the game that are pretty easy to take, self-explanatory. Maybe some Spider-Verse skins, some Spider-Man Unlimited from the TV shows, some other movies, maybe fan-made suits that they've made up. More Spider-Man Dimensions. And they've added like, however many there is, let's just say there's 25 for the old Image example. They would have to make 50 suits with their symbiote colour and different design change. So there's 42 suits in the game for this. 42 add 42 is...
Hey, old-fashioned B&E.
What is 42 add 42?
84.
Yeah, so they'll need to make 84 suits in this game if they had the symbiote option.
My collection is complete.
That's including DLC, by the way. That is still a lot.
That would look kinda cool, like symbiote version of every suit.
That's what they're doing for the second
I
game.
like Web of Shadows.
They're copying off Web of Shadows, half of it. With the same concept, with the image of basically Spider-Man looking at like this giant symbiote web up in the sky, like a nod to his Web of Shadows in Spider-Man 3. Not really Spider-Man 3 though. And then they've made a concept for that. And Swarm might be in the game.
Attention all units. Witness the
The Lizard, Sandman, and a couple other villains will also be leaked. Right, okay guys, going to stream here. That only took 27 minutes to get over like 30 features of the game that we've just been through and new stuff that's been leaked. Aye, it would probably took like 2 hours to go over the features. Yeah guys, I'll talk to you